Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk in English. I'm Garrett.
And my name is Esther. Today our topic is small talk.
And our title is, Can we share?
Can we share? Yes. Now sharing is a part of life. We share our time, our things, and our skills with other people. We also often share food with others.
Yeah, when you share things, you let other people use some of what you have. That might mean letting someone borrow something that you have. But when you share food, you're probably not getting that food back.
And that's right, you are giving it to them. We're going to learn about how to share food in today's lesson. Now let's go to today's reading.
Sometimes you want all of something. You can eat a whole pizza or a large salad. But sometimes you have too much food. Then you can share it with others. You can divide the whole into parts. You may divide it into 2 parts. Then you and your friend can each have half. Or you can divide it into more parts.
Thanks, Garrett. We're going to be talking about how to share food today. But first, let's go to today's Find It question. Our question is, what is Susie's favorite kind of cake?
What is Susie's favorite kind of cake? I wonder. There are so many different kinds.
Yeah, Garrett, what is your favorite kind of cake?
My favorite? Maybe cheesecake.
I like cheesecake and I like some good chocolate cake. Now let's go to Sonia, who's going to teach us about today's keywords.
Hello, Susie 问 Greg 想不想吃半片他的蛋糕 Greg, do you want half of this piece of cake? 名词 half 就是一半，因为 Susie 吃不完一整片蛋糕。I can't eat the whole thing. 形容词 whole 就是全部的。Greg 看了这个巧克力蛋糕，说这蛋糕也不是很大片呢。It's not a large piece. 形容词 large 就是大的。Susie 有时候吃东西只想吃一小块。Greg 说这样的话可以把那个东西分成好几份。Then you can divide it into parts. 动词 divide 就是分开，名词 part 就是部分。这样每个人都可以尝一点，真是个好主意呢。
Greg, do you want half of this piece of cake? I can't eat the whole thing.
Susie, it's chocolate cake. That is your favorite. It's not a large piece.
But I can share it with you.
Okay, thanks. I do like chocolate cake. But I don't want half. Just give me a small piece.
Okay, it's really good cake.
Today our friends Susie and Greg are in the Jungle Cafe. And Susie starts by asking Greg if he wants half of the piece of cake she is having.
Yeah, half means, well, you cut the whole thing into 2. So you have 2 halves.
We can also say it is 1 half. Susie says, I can't eat the whole thing. It's just one piece of cake, but Susie doesn't want to eat it by herself.
It's too much cake. She can't eat the whole thing. But we can go and practice that sentence with Maria.
Hi friends, are you ready for Use It? I am. In today's lesson, Susie wants to share some of her cake with Greg. She says, I can't eat the whole thing. The words I can't is today's sentence pattern. You say I can't when you aren't able to do something. Let's look at a couple of example sentences now. For example, I can't play basketball very well. Or, I can't come to dinner tonight. I will make my own sentence now. I can't wait to make my own sentence. And I can't wait to hear your sentence. So let's use it.
Thanks, Maria. We can't wait to talk more about sharing food. Now, friends, I think we found the answer to today's Find It question. Our question was, what is Susie's favorite kind of cake?
And we found out the answer. Her favorite kind of cake is chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake is delicious. You can take pieces of chocolate, melt it, add cream and butter, flour to make this cake. Now, Greg thinks that chocolate cake that Susie has is not a large piece. So if something is large, it means it's big.
Greg does not think this is a large piece of chocolate cake. He probably just eats a lot more than Susie does.
Right, but Susie still wants to share. She says, but I can share it with you. And I can share it with you is today's calendar phrase.
I can share it with you.
I can share it with you.
我可以和你分着吃。
Wow, that's a very big pizza.
I can share it with you.
That's a very big salad.
I can share it with you.
That's a very big dessert.
I can share it with you.
Oh, that's a very big bill.
That's okay. I can share it with you.
What? Oh.
I can share it with you.
I can share it with you.
我可以和你分着吃。
Now let's talk about this word share with Sonia.
Susie 说她可以和 Greg 分着吃这块巧克力蛋糕。But I can share it with you. 动词 share 意思是分享。Share something with someone 用来表示和某人分享某物。来看例句 I am happy to share my experiences with you. 我很乐意与各位分享我的经验。或是 A pizza tastes better when you share it with a friend. 和朋友一起分享披萨时更好吃。我们再举个例子。Press like and share the video with others. 按赞，并且和别人分享这支影片。
Thank you, Sonia. So remember, Susie's favorite kind of cake is chocolate cake, and she has one piece. And she's asking Greg if he wants half of it. She's going to divide her piece of cake into two parts and ask Greg if he wants one of the two parts.
Yeah, he says he doesn't want half, though. He just wants a small piece of the cake. Maybe it's not his favorite flavor, or maybe he's pretty full. Often, if you have a big meal, it's hard to have a whole bunch of cake after that.
That's right. You might say, instead of a small piece of cake, you can say, just give me one bite. You just want one small piece, the amount you can put on a spoon, and eat it in one bite.
Well, friends, have you heard this phrase, a piece of cake, anywhere else? Of course, this is a common phrase in English. If something is a piece of cake, then it's easy. It is not.
你拥有的不只是一张信用卡 ，Cube 信用卡结合 App 开外挂，功能更强大。 优惠模式自由切换，权益持续扩充，各种生活场景、不同消费需求一卡搞定，享乐随选就在 Cube。最新寿星权益登场，生日当月特定消费最高享10%回馈，为可能竭尽所能。国泰世华 Cube。
Difficult. This phrase doesn't have anything to do with eating cake.
That's right. This is an idiom that you can use. For example, if math is really easy for you, you can say, this math problem is a piece of cake.
Or this hike out in nature is a piece of cake. It was easy to walk that far.
Well, now it's time for us to take a break. Don't go away. We will be right back after this.
Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Today we are talking about sharing. Now, we like to share things with other people because when you share, you feel good. Other people get what you have, or other people have what you want to give them, and they are happy too.
Yeah, I always appreciate that about my wife. Whenever she gets something she really likes, she doesn't keep it for herself. She loves to share it with the people around her.
Sometimes we use this phrase, sharing is caring. You can show people you care about them by sharing with them. Just like how Garrett's wife shares with him to show that she loves him.
That's right. Well, friends, we hope you enjoy sharing too, and we hope you enjoy watching the rest of our conversation.
Thanks for the cake, Susie. It is very good.
You're welcome. Sometimes I just want a small piece of something.
Then you can divide it into parts. And everyone can have some.
Yes. Sometimes you don't want the whole thing.
Even a piece of chocolate cake?
Even chocolate cake. We can share.
Now, Susie shares a piece of her chocolate cake with Greg. And Greg says, "Thanks for the cake, Susie. It is very good."
Now, friends, what do you say if someone says thank you to you? Well, most often we will use this easy, short sentence. You're welcome, or you are welcome.
And now we're going to go to Sonia, who's going to give us more examples of how to use you're welcome.
Greg 尝了 Susie 分享的蛋糕，向她道谢。Susie 说：“不客气 ，You're welcome。”形容词 welcome 就是受欢迎的惯用语 ，You're welcome 意思就是不客气。来看例句 ：Thanks for answering my question。谢谢你回答我的问题。You're welcome， 不客气。或是 Thanks for the ride， 谢谢你载我一程。You're welcome， 不用谢。我们再举一个例子 ，Thanks for the help， 谢谢您的帮忙。You're welcome， 不客气。
Thanks, Sonia. Friends, remember in you're welcome, the your is spelled Y-O-U apostrophe R-E because it stands for you are. This is different from the word your, as in your pencil, Y-O-U-R.
That is good to know. All right, well, our conversation continues, and Susie tells Greg that sometimes she just wants a small piece of something. She doesn't want a big piece.
And Greg tells Susie that Susie can divide something into parts. Now, this word divide means to make it into smaller pieces. If you have one big piece of cake, you can divide it into smaller parts. You can separate it so there are smaller parts of the big piece of cake.
Yeah, you might see this at a birthday party. If you bring out a birthday cake, you might count first. How many people are there? If there are 8 people, you might want to divide that cake into 8 parts.
Another word for part is section. You can divide your birthday cake into 8 sections.
Okay, so Susie says sometimes you don't want the whole thing. You don't want to eat the whole cake or even the whole piece of cake, even if it's something you really love, like chocolate cake.
That's right. Susie says even chocolate cake. She says we can share.
Yes. So friends, what do you like to share? Sometimes it can be hard to give up something that you really love. But when we share with other people, we build our friendships with them.
That's right. And when we share, we feel good because others are happy too. One thing I like to share is I like to share food with other people, especially when I make desserts. I like to keep a few pieces and give it to people I know.
It is a great idea. So we talked about sharing food today. You might share some other things that you have, or we also use this word for information or stories. We share with people the stories of the things that happen in our lives.
Right. We can share food, we can share time, we can share information, and we can share our skills. Maybe you're really good at singing. You can share your singing skills with other people.
Now, friends, we thank you for letting us share with you. We've shared all of the English that we know about this topic with you today. Of course, we're all still learning, and so thank you for doing that with us. Now, let's review today's key words.
Here is your first key word. Whole. Whole. He can eat the whole pizza.
Large. Large. He can drink a large Coke.
Divide. Divide. We can divide the apples.
Part. Part. Do you want part of my salad?
Half. Half. You can have half and I can have half. Those are today's key words. Make sure you practice them some more. Now let's go and review today's lesson one more time.
Greg, do you want half of this piece of cake? I can't eat the whole thing.
Susie, it's chocolate cake. That is your favorite. It's not a large piece.
But I can share it with you.
Okay, thanks. I do like chocolate cake. But I don't want half. Just give me a small piece.
Okay, it's really good cake.
Thanks for the cake, Susie. It is very good.
You're welcome. Sometimes I just want a small piece of something.
Then you can divide it into parts. And everyone can have some.
Yes, sometimes you don't want the whole thing.
Even a piece of chocolate cake?
Even chocolate cake we can share.
Hey, what's that?
It's a chocolate cake.
Yay, can I have a piece?
Well...
Come on, please. Don't eat the whole thing.
Well, okay. I'll share it with you. I'll give you a small piece.
But chocolate cake is my favorite.
Okay. I'll give you half.
Yay, it looks really good.
Yes. Now, how should I divide it?
Cut it into 2 pieces, equal pieces, the same size.
That won't be easy.
I know, so you cut it, and I'll choose the piece I want.
That sounds fair. I'll cut and you choose.
Yeah, I'll choose the biggest piece.
I better cut carefully.
Yeah, take that knife and cut it.
Where's the
carefully.
middle?
Let's review today's
你拥有的不只是一张信用卡 ，Cube 信用卡结合 App 开外挂，功能更强大。优惠模式自由切换。
绅士的品格就是从注重生活细节开始，就跟一杯完美的威士忌一样。Johnny Walker XR 21年真的是蛮迷人的，
让男人重新去细细品味，让自己变得更有韵味，寻找到自己的台湾男人美学。
lesson with 2 questions. Here's your first question. How much of the cake does Greg want? How much of the cake does Greg want?
You can find the answer in conversation A. He just wants a small piece. Here's our second question. What kind of food do you share? What kind of food do you share? Let's go to some of our friends with their answers.
What kind of food do I share? Well, I like to share snacks with my class, but only healthy snacks like carrot sticks and apple slices. It's important to eat healthy, and my kids love when we share snacks.
What kind of food do I share? I love to share food. So any kind of food I'm eating, I will gladly share. But I especially like to share desserts because I don't usually like to eat so much dessert, but it's good to kind of have one bite. So it's fun to share desserts.
What kind of food do I share? Well, when I order a pizza, I love to share it with my friends. Because a big box of pizza, I can't finish all by myself. So that's why I invite all my friends and we have a pizza party. What about you? What type of food do you share?
What kind of food do I share? Well, all kinds of food. I share apples and oranges and chips and cookies. Sometimes I even share bananas. Would you like to share a banana? I'll eat the inside and you can have the outside. Yeah, because I love bananas.
What kind of food do I share? It's very important to share food. I have 9 brothers and 17 sisters, and so when I was growing up, we had to share all of our food. Our mom would order a hamburger and cut it into 17 plus 9 and me, that is 27 different pieces. We always had to share our food.
Thanks. Those are some fun answers. Well, friends, be sure to join us again tomorrow right here on
Let's Talk in English. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.